Welcome to another episode of Smart Tips. I'm Jeff Gonzalez, and today I'm going to walk you through how you can relate expense submissions to the projects that those expenses are related to. Let's jump in and take a look. For this really simple project management solution, we have a table of projects, tasks, milestones, deliverables. The only thing that I have added to this is a table for expenses. We don't want there to be a ton of friction throughout that process, so I have an assigned to field for the submitter of this expense, a status with either requested, approved, denied, the date of the purchase, and then the cost of that expense, and then the project that this expense will be tied to. Put it very simply within this form view to be able to title it, throw a logo in there. Where this gets fun is I can actually take this embed code and I can embed it into a SmartSuite dashboard view. If you're curious about which widget this is, it's actually a custom code widget that allows you to embed HTML directly into our dashboard view type. And why this is effective is it's a central place where folks can go to view the expense form, submit those expenses, look at the project financials, right? This is a grid view from our projects table, the same table that we're in, but a very simplified grid view that allows us to just see the project revenue compared to the margin. What is this margin field, you ask? I went ahead and actually just took this static project revenue currency field and I'm subtracting the basically the roll up of the expenses, that currency field, that cost field, right? You might notice that it's not just a simple sum field, it's a sum if field. And I went ahead and created a very lightweight approval process for these expenses by saying only count the expenses if their status is marked as approved. Very simple. So let's go through the process as if we were submitting it. So there's me, Jeff Gonzalez, description. Let's say this was for food. Let's say I purchased it yesterday. Let's say I had the most expensive lunch in business history. And I'm going to go ahead and tie it to the project called SmartSuite Kickoff. I'm going to submit this. As you can see, the margin didn't change within this grid view. If we come down here, we have another grid view from our expenses table where we could see all of the different expenses. Now I can have this filtered down. I can have permissions set on this status field so that only a handful of people can actually touch that status field or maybe even see it depending on what it is that you're looking for. In this case, just for example's sake, I'm going to go ahead and move that to approved. Before I do, I'm going to point out the fact that the margin right now is 10,800 compared to the project revenue of 12,000. But the moment that I go ahead and move that into the approved status, and I scroll back up, I can see immediately that $1,000 was taken off of my margin. And this is how we can effectively track expenses along the way throughout a project so we know in a moment's notice what that margin looks like. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any ideas for what we could do for future Smart Tip videos, feel free to leave them in the comments. Appreciate you stopping by.